do you think I ever thought that I'd be hearing from you going, even when you started, because I never made these promises, that you'd be getting a 450% increase in profit? Did you, right? No, dude, I'm being straight up with everybody listening in on this. People don't come in the Profit for Contractors and we go, hey, Dusty did 450% increase in profit, so can you. No. I got to be straight up with you. And people are going to be like, why are you saying this, Andrew? I'm just telling you that when you do the right things and you get the right recipe, the hopes and dreams that come out of this are fucking things that you never thought in your life would happen. And I think part of it is because it's really difficult to comprehend, to set a target for,
Until right now, this very moment, contractors have always been on their own, not as tradespeople, but being alone and knowing how to take their business to the next level. They call us working class, they call us blue collar. They say that we don't have the smarts to become the business owner that we're meant to be. That is such bullshit. You have the ability. You're more than any of that. The question really is, where do you get the insights that you need specific to contracting to systemize your business so you can get your profits to pay for your freedom? I'm Andrew Houston. I'm going to show you how to make more profits, how to get more control, how to get more freedom in the simplest, quickest way possible without any of that bullshit. Welcome to the No Bullshit Podcast for Contractors. Listen up, level up, and if you learn something, like the video, subscribe to the channel, change your business, change your life.
All right, guys, welcome to another No Bullshit Podcast for Contractors. I've got an amazing guest with me. I just let you know this is the round two. We had Dusty here. I'm gonna get Dusty to introduce himself. This guy is just blowing the doors out as far as not just increasing profitability. We're going to talk about increasing sales, increasing his team, increasing his quality of life, increase in his time with his family, and let's so that we catch everybody's attention. We're just going to hammer right now within the first few seconds here some of the numerical changes. That way we can get your attention and get you guys that are listening in to that have any interest in similar types of results to pay close attention right out of the gate. So Dusty, my man, Rice, how you doing, brother?
Good,
man. You're kicking ass, aren't you?
Yeah, doing all we can.
Okay, so let's just give me some numbers here, man. Let's hit the numbers, then we're going to get into tactics. We're going to get into where you were at in the beginning, all the struggles, and how you've overcome those, and even talk about in the end about some of the things that you're working towards, because business always has challenges, right? Or we can look at them as opportunities, right, to grow. What are some of the changes? You've been with us for how long?
I joined the end of November 2019, so about a year and a half.
Love it. Okay, so roughly tell us where were things at just numerically, like say sales and profits, and where are you at now? However you want to describe them.
Sales weren't really ever a problem. We always had lots of work. Profits were the problem. We had no profits. I was working nonstop, night and day, and was getting nowhere. So last year we just got our numbers back for 2020, and compared to 2019, we increased our sales basically 100%. But the biggest part was we increased our profits 450%.
Okay.
So.
No bullshit, right, dude?
No, it's 100% true.
Okay. It's 450% true.
Yeah.
Dude! Complete game changer. So everybody listening in. Okay. I know it's Profit for Contractors here. This is what we're going to talk about. I talk about how profits can pay for your freedom. We're going to talk about that, everybody. But I really want you guys to understand what struggles he had. I want you to understand that that you guys have the opportunity to do the same thing. I know he wears a bit of a cape because he's a bit of a superstar here, But he's not the only one, okay, guys? So I want to let you know. Now, I'm not saying that you all need to tomorrow, increase your profits and increase your profits by 400% or double your sales. But I want to let you know that's not bullshit. This is the real deal. This is a guy that, which we're going to get into some of the pain points, that had some major struggles, okay? And I know these are going to be some of the struggles that you guys, if you're listening in, are currently having or have had in the past, or you're totally going to be able to relate to Dusty, okay? He's a down-to-earth guy. Has a lot. I think it has a little bit to do with where you're from, but that definitely helps, okay? But if any of that tweaks your interest, if you want to make more profits, if you want to increase your sales, okay, if you want to have a better balanced environment and better business, and if you really want to be a champion CEO of not just your business but of your life personally as well, then you've come to the right place. If not, and you're not a contractor, you're not an owner, you're not interested in doing that, then this is not the right place for you. So, Dusty, my man, you're killing it, dude. I love it. So what are some of the struggles you had? Like, you were basically ready to throw in the towel. Tell me where you were at in 2019. How did you come across finding us? And let's start with that, along with what made you go, maybe these Profit for Contractors guys can help us.
Well, 2019, I guess I was just at the end of where things would go. I just couldn't see us making it through another year. We just basically, we were busy. We had work. Work was never a problem. We had lots of work. I was working night and day, and every time we got done the end of the year, I had no money left. We actually owed more than we usually had left over. Basically, we got to that point, and my wife and I had a meeting. I sat down with a bankruptcy office, and we kind of discussed that option. I just more or less said, there's got to be another way. There's got to be someone out here that can help me turn this around, because I said I just can't give up. And so we looked around. So I got online and happened to stumble across Profit for Contractors and set up a call with Liam, and it was kind of exactly what I needed to hear. So it was a leap of faith. We just said it was the last try. It was just, we'll either jump in and we'll get these guys to help us, and if it doesn't work, then we'll shut our doors. So, and here we are.
How long had it been? Like, how long had it been that business that you didn't want? That business that, every year it was like you had to pay more than what you made, type of thing. Like, how long did that go on for? Like years?
Pretty much since the end of the first year that we started. I mean, it was I'd worked for other people my whole life, and then decided to try it on my own. So it was fun the first year working for myself. It was I had one guy, my brother, working with me, and we were doing good, having fun. But at the end of the year, it's just like, well, is that all we made? The accountants did up everything, and it was so. And it just kept snowballing after that.
What year was that you started?
I went on my own in 2012.
So since 2012, the roller coaster started.
Mm-hmm. And the debt started accumulating.
How much debt were you at the peak?
I don't even know where I was, to tell you the truth. Towards the end, I think I was probably in about 60,000 in credit card debt.
Wow.
Towards the end of starting, and we've taken care of that so far, and
you think?
And then some. yeah. So,
and let's talk a little bit so people can relate. Okay, so just so that I want everybody to understand that there's certain boxes I want you to think about if this resonates with you. Okay, everybody listening in, and one of the biggest things I want you guys to get out of this podcast, like I do the other ones, is I want to let you know that number one, you're not alone. So Dusty's mission and my mission is we're going to talk about shit or stuff. We're going to talk about no bullshit. We're going to talk about the reality of the situation. We're going to even talk about a little bit because Dusty is okay with it. If you're still okay with it, is like how it affects your health, like your weight, right? Like seriously, like this is not just a lot of people that are in this space, and it's great if they help people, and I think that's awesome. Okay, but one of the things that they don't do is they don't look at the whole picture. They don't look at the effects of this. Like, what's the effects of the business on the personal front, on your health, on your marriage, on your kids. So we're going to talk about that as well. So you're in massive debt. It just So one of the questions I've got for everybody listening in. This is the question for Dusty. Same question for you. So here it is. Dusty, were you putting in the extra hours? Were you putting in more time to try and solve the problem?
It'd be easier to say when I wasn't working.
Tell me about that. What did that look like, dude? How many days a week? How many hours roughly? What did that look like? Tell me. You wake up at what time, and what time would you go to bed?
You get up, usually getting set for work between 6 and 7. Working long hours, you'd get home, have supper, and then go out again, work for the evening, and usually Saturdays and Sundays too at times. It was just very, very long hours, but the worst, I have no trouble working hard and putting in hours, but I was getting nothing for it.
You're getting less than nothing.
Yeah, it was actually costing me.
Right, exactly. So you listening in, is that a box that resonates with you? Ask yourself that question. Are you putting in more and more and more time, and you're not getting ahead, you're not getting the results out of it, you're not solving the problems and or even reducing the symptoms, and in conjunction with that, are things actually getting worse, right? Are you making less money? So if that's a box that resonates with you, you're not alone, okay? We're going to keep going through some boxes. Sound fair, Dusty?
Yep.
Okay. Maybe we'll go back and forth. Okay? We'll go business and we'll go personal. Right?
Yeah.
So you considered yourself, I'm not putting these words in. And no judgment. There's no judgment here, dude. Okay, and anybody else listening in, people that judge you, they have no clue. Okay? They're like, oh man, you're not putting in enough hours. Bullshit. Tradies, contractors, man, we fucking know how to work. Okay? We're about the closest thing that I would compare to my dad and my dad's family in Ireland is farmers. Like, these fucking guys can put in time, man. These guys are like sleeping at the wheel. I know it sounds bad, but that's like, and then it's like, wake up, gotta keep going. It's 3 in the morning, right? No, seriously, that's how I grew up doing the fields, right? Like, okay, it's not, there's no rain. Yeah, but Dad, it's fucking 2 a.m. That's right. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Right? So, hard work, more time. I'm going to hold off on the hard work thing. You do still have to work hard. But the putting in more time is not a solution. Okay, so that's one. Number two, personal side. You were overweight.
Yeah.
So that means you were. I don't want to assume, but I just want to say that I feel like that's a factor of stress, a factor of always being on the go. Correct?
Yeah, it was one of them. I always struggled with my weight, but it was at the point where I just wasn't taking care of myself. I was just working nonstop. I was the last person that I worried about.
Isn't that typical, right? Right. So if you're listening on this, and before let's describe that in a little more detail. Like, what would that look like for you? Do you mind sharing? You don't have to do, but do you mind sharing like how much weight did you lose since you joined Profit for Contractors?
I lost 150 pounds.
Everybody listening, 150 pounds. Like a person.
Yeah. Dude.
So we know, everybody listening in, and it's no judgment, but we know, don't we, that like way before the 150, like I'm not taking care of myself. Right? Did you know that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So why did you keep on doing it?
It's just you're just stuck in bad habits.
Yes.
You just needed that And that's what I got from joining Profit for Contractors. I mean, I was watching one of your videos there, and you kind of said that not only in business but in your personal life, you just need to get control of your personal life. So that's what kind of just, it was like a flick of a switch, and I just said, I need to do something. I need to find someone that can help me. So I did the same thing as when I started looking for PFC. I started looking for a program. So I joined a program, a diet program, and that's all I needed. I mean, I joined that, and I started taking care of myself, and yeah.
Well,
so.
and the two actually started helping each other. What would you say to that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right. I want everybody to know you're not alone. Okay. Whether or not it's being overweight, whether or not it's, and listen. I've had lots of fun in my younger years. Okay, and I'm not fucking perfect. Okay, I still have the odd, Big Mac combo, large fries, and shit like that. I'm trying. I'm working. I'm at a good place right now. We all go through different phases of our lives. Okay, that's the reality. Okay, you have kids. You fucking got to get up in the middle of the night. Things will rattle and challenge you around how you take care of yourself. But if you're listening in, and as you're driving in your truck, or maybe you're in the office, maybe, and I'm not saying you have to be. I'm not talking just to the men. I'm talking about to the women. I'm talking about like people as a whole. You're doing things that aren't healthy, and if those things are things that correlate to your stress level, I'm not trying to be Dr. Phil. It's just reality. If they correlate to the things of the health of your business, in other words, if you look at how unhealthy your business environment is and the chaos of it, if that is a reflection of your own personal health, trust me, the two of them actually go together. Dusty, what's your words of wisdom?
It was just, you have to make a change. You just have to decide enough is enough and take control and decide that you're going to make a change. No one's going to do it for you. You can point fingers all you want, but you've just got to do it yourself.
I agree with you with a little bit of a hesitation. You wanted that change, dude. So now I'm going to put on the business front, on the personal front. You wanted both of those to be better, and you were putting in, at least let's talk now back to business. You were putting in the extra hours. You were thinking that, hey, I'm working hard. If I work harder, I'll solve these problems. Right? The reality, and again, don't call bullshit on me. I say this all the time when I'm interviewing you guys, right? Call bullshit on me. Just because you have the drive, and even when you have committed to saying, I'm going to fix this, if you don't know how to fucking fix it, you're not going to fix it. No. What would you say that?
You don't know what you don't know. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
And Dusty, I want everybody to understand. I want you to understand, and again, this is when you hear me hesitate on these podcasts, it's because we haven't prepped for this, right? This is no bullshit. We're live. We're like raw, People ask me all the time, aren't you worried about fucking saying something that you shouldn't say? Wait, man, I'm fucking human. Maybe I'm sure I've said shit I shouldn't say. Well, okay, I'm fucking human. Sorry. Oh, Andrew, you swear too much. The kids are around. Well, I don't know, dude. It's my podcast. I can fucking do it the way I want to that I think is going to help people, right? So here's the thing. Business success, finish off on that and we'll go back to personal, is a recipe. There's an order in which you have to follow the recipe. There is things that you have to start with, and let's touch on some of these tactics in a second, and there's things that you don't want to start with. Right? I'll give you an example. Yes, you want to put structure into your business. Yes, you want to make sure there's roles and responsibilities defined. Yes, you want to make sure that there's like an organizational roles and responsibilities chart. Some of you might be listening and going, what the fuck is that? What? Or some of you might be going, yeah, man, I'm working on that right now. Regardless, That is definitely something that you want in your business. But you do not start there. You don't start there. Why not, Andrew? Because that is after you've done some of these basics. Like you need to learn addition and subtraction, guys, before you learn multiplication and division, before you learn, it's like, yeah, you're right. Well, the same fucking thing is in business. If you try to do the complicated, high-level strategic shit up here, and you haven't got the foundational stuff correct, which we're going to talk about with Dusty here in a second, this could be the worst thing you ever do. Even though it's the right thing to do, but you do not want to do the right thing at the wrong time. Dusty, let's talk about that. So, when you first started with Profit for Contractors, putting in more and more time, that was not the solution. So what were some of the first things that, when you came to Profit for Contractors, that you started to work on that were like some of the key first stepping stones of principles? What were they?
Getting control of my time.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Did you hear the word he used, everybody? Then I'm going to shut up and let Dusty talk about this. He didn't say their fucking time. He didn't say everybody else's time. Everybody might be like, yeah, of course. He said his time. Yeah, his time. And you guys might be like, I still don't get it. Like, of course you got to get control of your time. No. His time as the CEO. What do I mean by that, Dusty?
I think in one of your videos there you said if you don't control your time, everyone else will fill your schedule for you. And that really hit home with me, and I got thinking about that, and it was. I mean, you answer that phone and you're just chasing the calls. You're chasing, I need you here, I need you there. Then you're jumping around, you're getting nothing done. I mean, you're running for everyone else, and there's no structure. And at the end of the day, you've got nothing done. You're just chasing all the time. So
you got a ton done, but it's what's you're getting shit done that's on everybody else's list.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right? Not Dusty's list. Like, the suppliers list, the fucking clients list, the prospects list, the teams list, everybody else's list but whose?
Mine.
Isn't that interesting? Everybody listen up. You're going to see a trend. And we did not plan for this. Here we go. Dusty, when he first talked about his weight, when he talked about his health, he said this. So you can go back to the record and see if he did say this. He took of the last person that he thought of was himself. That was the same in personal, and that was the same in business. Correct, Dusty?
Yep.
Everybody else was a fucking priority.
Yep.
So, when you what was some of the aha moments in that training that once you start to apply them, you tell me, like, I don't want to put words in your mouth. What were some of give a couple of things that you actually did differently, and how did that fucking change the way that you, first of all, your belief and your mindset changed. So everybody understand this. You can have all the tactics in the world. If the way that you're thinking, your belief, and the way that you're looking at things is not in the right, using the right set of lenses, none of this shit that we talk about today is going to stick because your head's not ready for it. I'm serious. So, Dusty, you came with this, you watched the video of me, and it's like, hey, man, everybody else is running your fucking life, and you were like, that's fucking me. So then what did you do differently?
Before the week started, I used to plan my whole week out. I started using Google Calendar, and I started filling it, and when people called, I would check my schedule to see when I could fit them in. It wasn't I'll be right there. It'll be I can come this day, that, or we'll have to arrange another time.
Do you ever remember the story I told in one of those videos? By the way, this is all training videos, guys. And you're like, what do you mean? I'm not talking to, if I decide to sign up with Profit for Contractors, I'm not going to talk to Andrew live all the time. No, fuckers. Why would I? No, Dusty, how often could you watch those videos?
Whenever you want.
Yeah, whenever, as many times as you freaking want. Okay, I'm sorry, right? We practice and apply what we teach to you guys, right? And Dusty's going to talk about some of the things that he's put into play that that have the same impact, okay? But do you ever remember in those videos I talked about when I opened up my business, and it was just me in the beginning, and I finally started to use the principle of my time, and the guy calls up and says, "Hey, I'm looking for the accounts payable. Do you remember this?"
Oh, yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, that person's in on Thursday." And it was Monday when they called. So Dusty, when they called back, I said 9 o'clock on Thursday. Call back. That accounts payable person is in the office at that time. So when they called at 9 o'clock on Thursday, who picked up the phone, Dusty?
You did.
Hello. Yeah, accounts payable. I'm like, wait a second. Aren't you the guy who talked to you on Monday? I'm like, yeah, dude. Well, why the fuck didn't you deal with me on Monday? I don't deal with that on Monday. I deal with that on Thursday at 9 o'clock. Game changer. So what were some of the impacts, dude, of scheduling your time, defaulting your time, getting better control of your time? What happened?
I was starting to see progress with things that I was trying to accomplish. I mean, we started to become organized.
Why we? Why not? Why we? Why not it just be you?
Because I was able to start organizing the week for my guys, and it was, that was the biggest change, was starting to get off the tools and starting to organize, and I could see the outcome from the guys working on me organizing ahead of time. It was going better than me being there working right beside them.
Okay, say that again.
When I was off the tools, it was more organized having me prepping and getting the jobs ready for the guys than it was than having me working there with them.
Okay, everybody listening. This is a big fucking belief, boys. Any tradespeople listening that are running a business, I'm going to tell you right now, this is one of the biggest mindset shifts of how you look at your time. You think that you, being the Gretzky, right, Dusty, you're pretty fucking good at your trade, right?
Right.
Yeah. I was pretty good at my trade. I bet you both of us, if we were put on the fucking ice today, wouldn't take us long and we'd still be fucking pretty damn good. Right. It's like throwing a football. It's like there's a natural intuition. Okay? Tradespeople, it's like a full contact sport. Right? You're fucking out there, you're bending the pipe, pulling the wire, hooking up the fucking dude, building control panels, right? And you're good at it. So you think, what do we think? We think, hey man, if I'm on this job site, what do we think, Dusty?
That you're not accomplishing anything if you're not there working.
Right, and hey, and if I'm there, then I'll be able to direct the guys and things will get done faster.
Yeah.
What's the problem with that? What's not getting done?
Well, when you finish that job, then everyone's standing there looking at each other, waiting to see what happens next, and there's nothing ready.
Totally. Guys, understand, we're not going to get heavily into this, but there's a contractor's ladder of success, okay? And there's different stages to it. You know, like as an electrician, it's not going to be the same for all trades, but for me, it was a 5-year apprenticeship, right? What I had to learn in the first year is not the same fucking thing I learned in the 5th year. And if I tried to learn what I learned in the 5th year, okay, with that, what I learned in the 1st and 2nd and 3rd and 4th, I'd end up fucking killing somebody. Right? Make sense, Dusty?
Yeah.
So in business, it's the same thing. In order to move yourself up, and if you're and by the way, I can know really quickly, my team will know very quickly how committed you are to becoming a champion CEO by how you answer this question. This is one of the key ones, which is, are you willing to come off the tools, come off the job sites, and put in the time in the office to make sure you put the right structure and systems in place for you to start running a more profitable, more organized business? And they're like, no fucking way, man. I got to be on the job site. Nope. Not coachable. You're not ready for it. Is that true, Dusty?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's hard to give up. It is you have to have a change in your mindset. But I had a job there where when I was first getting started with PFC, we were trying that, and I actually got busy. I was in the office and stuff, and we actually finished the job, and I went to the guys in the end, and I kind of got thinking. I said to the guys, I said, you know, this here job, I didn't help you one bit. You guys did this job completely on your own, and I had a system in place for, we use Company Cam, and usually I set up files and stuff and for the project and all that. And actually I looked, and the guys had set it up on their own. They took care of the entire job themselves, and they ran it without me. And that's when I realized this is working. I didn't need to be there 24/7. They were actually probably doing better without me there in a way.
Everybody listening on this, okay? What would you say if somebody said, bullshit, Dusty? There's no way. I can't find good guys. There's no way that there's guys out there that can run jobs better than me. I'm going to have to be there. What would you say to them? What would you say is one of the core problems that's missing?
The mindset there.
Yes.
Because it's not true.
It's not true. The reason that is the case, everybody listening up, this is a big one. So if you're listening on this podcast and this resonates with you, check off another box, because it means that you have an opportunity to help yourself. You have an opportunity today. I can't fucking pick it for you. Dusty can't pick it for you. You can pick it for you. That's it. You get to choose. And yes, being an entrepreneur, you like fucking control. That's your chance to fucking control your business and make a different decision moving forward. Okay? So here's the reality of the situation. If the business runs better in your mind, and let's just say it does, when you're on the job site, I'm going to tell you what one of the core problems is, and I'll see if Dusty calls bullshit on. You're the fucking system. What? You're the system. You're fucking in between your two ears. That's the system. What do you mean? You have all the steps. You have all the ways of fucking getting it done because you're a Gretzky of the trade. So when you're on the job site, you're like, oh no, put it there. No, bend it there. No, we're going through the fucking I-beam over there. No. Better approach here would be the fucking get the crate, load her off here, drop her off there, and you're like a super, right? We're in the fucking Superman cape. The problem is you're the system. So the minute that you fly away from that job and you go to the next job, everything goes to shit. Because you haven't created systems, processes. You haven't created a form of communication that is beyond you that your team can use without you. Dusty, am I on the right path here or what? Or wrong?
Oh, yeah.
My bullshit.
Oh no, that's 100% true. It's you're basically setting your crew up to fail. I mean, they have no option, but as soon as you leave, they have no clue. I mean, that's the same thing I used to go through working for other people. You're always trying to think about what's going on in their head. What you didn't have anything to lay out the plan for you. And we started using Trello to lay out our jobs, and the guys had everything they needed.
How much that fucking cost you?
$0.
Everybody listening in. Oh, but I can't afford it, Andrew. I can't afford to put in systems. Oh, yeah? One of the first steps that we get these guys to work on is a couple of softwares that are free. Why do I pick free ones? Well, because I use them for me. And there's no fucking excuses that you can't afford them. And there's no excuse that you can't learn them. What do you mean? Because it's free, its level of complexity, no offense, is not that complex. It's fairly basic. And you can accomplish a shitload of stuff with something like Trello. By the way, oh, Andrew, where do I find that? It's Trello. What, Andrew, why are you giving all this away? Like, why would you do that? Because guess what? There's something that I also know. One thing that you guys need to learn is you need to learn how to create systems. You can have all the free softwares. Dusty?
Oh yeah.
True.
You just have to go find them.
But if you don't know how to create the systems, if you don't have somebody teaching you how to create a system that others can follow, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
True?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And just the simplest little things makes the biggest difference. I mean, just something to organize a job before you go into it. I mean, it takes all those phone calls away that the guys are calling you nonstop to see what's next. I mean, they need anything, they go in, they look at that, and they can do what they need to, and it looks good for them too.
Totally. Guys, you can go into this Trello. By the way, there's lots of them, but let's just say Trello. You can go in there. You can put the fucking quote in there. You can put in how many hours for each of the steps. You can put in how many steps. You can put in the fucking material. You can put in, and then they've got to check it off, and then you can see it live. They can see it on their phone. You can have certain things that they can edit. They can't edit. You're like, seriously, Andrew? For free. Now, Profit for Contractors has a whole bunch of templates, and here's how we did this for a plumbing company, for an HVAC company, for an electrical. But guess what? You still have to modify it to make it work for you, right? Okay. Now, have you gone to more advanced softwares?
I'm working on that right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we start off with the basic foundational principles, right? Mm-hmm. If you can't use a simple thing like Trello, why the fuck would I advise you to go to a Builder Trend or to a fucking, co-construct or when you're like, yeah, but I want this higher level stuff. I'm like, dude, you can't even follow a simple 5-point checklist. Why would you why would, yeah, but they say it's really good. Yeah, but only for those that are willing to use it. Dude, right? How quick were the wins? How quickly did you benefit from using something like a Trello?
Oh, fast. It was nice.
What, like 6 months or like weeks?
Oh no, right away. It's just as soon as you finish setting it up. I mean, it took the guys, I guess, probably a week or two to get used to it, and after that, I mean, that's what everybody looks for now. Right? We can set everything up, and to get the feedback from the guys on it too was nice. They had ideas to be able to do different things in there too. So, I mean, worked well.
Let me explain something, guys, and then we're going to move on to the next area of you guys probably, just to remind you with Dusty, okay? How much again? 400% increase in profits.
450.
That's it, baby. 450. See, he knows that. It's not 400. It's not 401. It's not 420. It's 450. How does he know that? Because this brings me to the next thing in a second, which we're going to talk about. So remember this, Dusty. Knowing your numbers. Okay, but let's talk about systems. I'm going to get Dusty to answer this, and he's going to pause just for a second, and then I'm going to say, okay, Dusty, answer it. And I want you to answer it. What can be replicated? You or a system? I'll wait. Give you another 3, 2, 1. Dusty?
A system.
You cannot replicate yourself. The minute if it's something to do with you have to physically do X, Y, Z, you have to physically order, you have to physically go to the jobs, you have to physically drive to. If it says you, that is not scalable. If it says there's a system to, there's a system to, there's a system to. So if on this podcast, you're like, I don't have any fucking systems to. It's all me. Then guys, you have so much opportunity. Yeah, but I'm close to bankruptcy. Yeah, so is this guy. Not only is he past bankruptcy, I'll be honest, you're on your pathway to being fucking wealthy. No, am I serious? Dusty, are you on the pathway to become wealthy versus poverty?
That's the goal.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, dude, if you doubled your sales and you've gone up 450%, dude, you're not making 20 grand in profit at the end of the year, are you?
No.
You're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Am I correct?
That's what we're on the path for this year.
Guys, he's on the path to make. That's not including your salary.
Mm-hmm.
Is this no bullshit?
No, that's true. Yeah, we're actually this year. Bob and I we've got a goal set, and I'm going to be probably doing 1.2 million in sales this year, which is I never thought that would even be possible. Okay,
and what's the thing that's going to that's exciting, but you know what excites me? What's on this fucking thing? What's it say?
Profits.
What kind of profits we talking?
Oh, we'll probably. I think we're on track there to do about 240.
Guys, 240. Okay, Dusty, how much longer are you going to be in business for? A year, 5 years, 10 years? Well, no, seriously.
I'm only 35, so I've got lots of years left.
So, guys, get this. By the time, how old are you now?
35.
Dude, think about this. So, in 5 years' time, guys, I'm not joking, you're going to be talking to a millionaire. Am I full of shit? Dusty.
I hope not.
Well, according to your trend.
Yeah, no, that's the biggest part of this is being able to, because you have that money to grow the business further. Because right now we've doubled in size, so we need that money just to keep growing and expanding. So
Because your profits pay for your what?
freedom.
Guys, this is not scripted. This is why does he know these words? Because this is the fucking language here at Prof for Contractors. Because it is true. People ask me now, okay, and I've had to put it to the test. So, Dusty, I'm going to give you a little bit of heads up. No big promises, but let's say that over the next little bit, I might get a little bit more involved as far as the face time of me to you guys, okay? But why do you think, Dusty, that I've actually stepped back? So, Prof for Contractors, just like let you guys in on a little bit of a secret, and I'm not in the bullshit. Dusty, I'm not around as much as I used to be, am I?
Not at all.
Why is that? Why do you, and you and I've never had this discussion, have we?
No.
Why do you think that is?
Because I think you're taking the opportunity to grow and expand on your part too.
Dusty, how congruent? You know what congruent means, or no?
Mm-hmm.
How congruent would I fucking be to be the CEO of Profit for Contractors, teaching you guys how to scale a contracting business when I have to be around? Would that make sense?
No.
So guys, everybody listening, I did this with 2 other businesses, but let's focus in on the one that really resonates with you guys. I did this with my automation business. I got it to run without me. I sold it. I made a bunch of money, okay? Different money than what the fucking money is today. But I made a bunch of money. I got it to run without me. So I was like, hey, good. And then I did it again. And then what, Dusty? I've done it again. No, what's that mean? It means that if you're going to go get help from somebody, I'm highly advising this. I'm seriously. First of all, today's call is for you to recognize that you're not alone. Number 2, that this shit that Dusty's talking about, even if you don't engage with us at Prof for Contractors or join this free contractor tips group or whatever, that I want to let you know that you can be helped and that you're not alone. Okay? Number 3, if you go and reach out to somebody that says that they can help you and they are the business, red flag that fucking till Sunday. Because it tells you that they're teaching principles that they don't even apply congruently to themselves. Would that be true, Dusty?
Yeah.
But why do I do these podcasts? What do you think?
Just because you like to do them, I guess, too.
So I get to choose.
Yeah.
I have fucking fun doing this. I loved it. This does not work for me. I do this all fucking day. I get to talk to great people like you who've gotten results, not heavily through me being there, but through watching my trainings, by getting coached, right? You got help by what? We got a mindset coach, right, Dusty?
Mm-hmm.
Why would we have a mindset coach?
Because that's just what we need to get that shift in our mind to be able to make those changes. It's
right.
You can get by. I had that trouble. I was kind of blocked with the changes, with being able to think about growing and making more money, and to deal with that, to deal with the price changes and everything, and that made the change. Actually, since I've been with PFC, you and I have never actually even had a one-on-one call before for coaching. We've done the group calls, but we've never had a one-on-one. So that just shows that it didn't even.
How would that be possible?
Because your team knows exactly what to do.
And I'm going to say this, not to put down what you've been doing, Dusty, but I'm going to say it is a fucking hell of a lot easier, and not that it's easy, but it's a hell of a lot easier for me and probably Dusty, and call bullshit on this, Dusty, for me to lay out what the steps are to go and install a fucking 200 amp panel, or in your case, Dusty, to fucking do such and such an installation, okay? Then to deal with the business principles. Those are fucking, I'll tell you why. I know you need to do these things to install a fucking 200 amp panel. I know you can't fucking you can move it over here, but the core of installing it, dude, you need to do these steps. True?
Yeah.
That's not how it works in business. Is your break-even margin, your fixed overhead expenses, is that going to be the same as every other contractor in your space, even in your area?
And that was my biggest problem. Yeah,
Tell us about it.
I was basically basing my prices on what I thought the going rate was for other contractors in this area. I thought that there's no way I could charge more than anyone else because that's just what the going rate is. Not even knowing that it had to be what my business needed to survive. And when I met with you guys and we figured out my break-evens, it actually turned out that every job I was doing, I was actually paying the customer to work for them.
By the way, I keep tabs on you guys. You know that, right?
No.
Yes, we have dashboards, right? Like we have internal dashboards. Do you think, really? Andrew, you have internal dashboards? Mm-hmm. This guy's pricing's off. This person's like, right? It's like, okay, so this person's going to have potential issues with, even though this is the facts, Jack. Yeah, these are the facts. These are the facts. Yep. So then Dusty's going to do it. Oh, no. He's got to go talk to a mindset coach after that. Why? Oh, because even though we showed him the facts, it doesn't mean he's going to do it. Why? Well, because his fucking limiting beliefs on like, man, if I increase these, what were some of the limiting beliefs of increasing pricing? What were some of them? What's going to happen?
You're going to lose customers. That maybe you're just not worth it, and it was a struggle. Mm-hmm. But it was the best way to start working with the best clients. Because
isn't that interesting? Filter fast, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
So everybody understand. Okay, if you're struggling with, if number one, here's a couple more boxes, right? So we're going through some box checklists here. If you're basing your price upon what everybody else in your area is basing your price on, Dusty, what would you say to them?
You're not going to make it.
Nope. Okay, so that's one. That's a box. So if that's you, know that you're not alone. By the way, probably on 30% of the interviews I do with Rockstar clients, with champion CEOs like Dusty, and when I say champion CEO, it doesn't mean like he's done. I'm not fucking done. I mean, you're always striving to be a champion CEO. What's that mean? It means champion CEO of your business and a champion CEO of your life. That means champion CEO, right? Because you are the owner of your life. That's how I look at it, okay? That's my own view. That's how I had to get around going, like, fuck, I'm not going to do what everybody else does. I'm going to do what's right for me and for my business and for my family, right? But a huge percentage of clients, that is one of the biggest mindset shifts. They think they're going to lose business. So let me help you with that really quickly. All the listeners, and Dusty, you tell me if this is some of the strategies. There's a good chance it might be, okay, because we have a system. We didn't get Dusty, and again, call my bullshit, dude. I'm fucking dead serious. Did we say, Dusty, raise your prices? And by the way, how much have you increased your pricing by since you started with us? Like, you can say percentage or whatever.
Oh, probably at least over 15, 20%.
Okay, guys, so picture this. Hey, Dusty, all right? Did we say this, Dusty? Take every single client and jack it up by 20%. Or did we go, okay, Dusty, okay, we know this is a shift. We're going to start off just one at a time. And we're going to start off small little increments. We can start off at, what are you comfortable with, Dusty? 5%. Maybe 3. Okay, Dusty, we'll start off 3. And you increase 3. Okay, Dusty, how'd you make out? Oh, fuck. It worked. Which approach did we take? The like crack at the fucking 20 and then hope for the best? Or did we strategize and go, let's just get comfortable with this and see what the impact's going to be? What did we do?
It was kind of a happy medium of both, actually, because I had to crack it pretty hard at first just to get to my break even, because otherwise I was losing money. So I was losing so much money that I had to jump it to my break even, then to turn a profit, and then we slowly found a happy medium in there, and yeah, then we were doing smaller increments. But
Dusty, we didn't target the Class D deadbeat and Class C can't deal with clients, did we? First,
not at all.
So, guys, understand this. There's a strategy to the strategy, right, Dusty?
Yeah.
You're not going to go to your A fucking class client that you feel is an A class client that treats you well, that you like working with, all the rest, and then you okay, I'm going to put the 20% and tag that fucking guy. No, guys, go with the people that are like, man, I don't really like this guy. I don't really trust these guys, but man, if I'm going to fucking do a quote for them, they're going to have to pay. Like, guys, as I said that, you're probably like, that makes sense. Well, yes, it does, but unless you get coached as to the steps, raising your prices, not done the right way, could be disastrous. You're absolutely right. You could lose a shitload of clients if you don't do it strategically. Is that correct, Dusty?
Right.
So there's a will and there's a way, okay? So if that resonates with you, then, guys, seriously, and Dusty just didn't wing it. He keeps talking about break even. You guys might not even fucking know what that means. And it's okay if you don't know, because if you haven't been taught, right, Dusty, if you weren't taught it, how the fuck would you know what break even is? What is break even? Dusty.
What your business has to have to actually break even. And
right.
It's really
right.
Not okay if you don't know. Because if you don't know, then you're in a bad spot. Because I've been there.
Dude, I love what you just said. It's not fucking okay. If you don't know your break even right now, guys, it is definitely not okay. Because you are worse than going to the fucking poker table. Okay? So, Dusty figured that out. And then he knew as a line in the sand. Dusty, when you first learned your break even, I think I was on a group call with you at one point where you were just like you were so far off.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like you were a couple of points off. You were like, holy fuck, is this right? I remember you came on a couple of calls and you were like, am I calculating this properly?
Yeah.
Because you didn't believe it. So, let's talk about numbers. How important is it, Dustin? Where were you at? Again, you were almost at bankruptcy. You were going and talking to a bankruptcy guy, right? Or company or whatever, like filing for bankruptcy. So, tell us, what was your knowledge of your numbers then? And what's your knowledge of your numbers now? And if you can, like, think about where you were at, because most people listening in on this, that's where they're at, right? Like that, they don't know any different. So where were you at and where are you now?
Right then we were a team of 4 altogether. We had 2 company trucks, and I was basically crossing my fingers and hoping that at the end of the year we had something left to pay the bills. I wasn't aware. I was basically doing material and time jobs and just figuring them out that way and hoping that it was enough. And it never was. We started figuring out our break-evens. Then I was able to know when I quoted on a job that I was making what I needed to and making the profits that I needed for my business to survive and to turn a profit. And we've now doubled in size. We're a team of 8. We have 4 company vehicles. We're going steady, and we're about to have the biggest year we've ever
Dude,
had.
I love it. And the bank account, right? Like, so that people can relate. That bank account of yours, dude. Like where was your head at a weekly basis regarding the bank account? Like, just like, did you dread it? Did you you're like, fuck, can I pay these bills? Like, so that people can relate. Like, where were you at in that moment?
Oh, you didn't even want to look. I mean, it was bad. I mean, we were shuffling money all the time just to try to pay these guys to hold off till we could afford to pay someone else, and it just wouldn't work. I mean, we didn't know that we were supposed to, I don't know, get deposits and to be able to have cash flow in the bank to keep things working. And I mean, joining PFC, we joined just in time. I mean, when COVID hit last year,
you would have been screwed. You would have been out of business.
I would have lost it for sure. And they started shutting things down, instead of going in panic mode, I just jumped on it and I started collecting all my receivables and my deposits, and I started lining up the jobs, and we lined up, and we've been going steady ever since. I mean, it actually was the best year we've ever had.
So everybody listening to this is during the pandemic of this era. Like, I want you to understand, people are like, oh, I'm going to wait for a better time. I'm going to wait for this. I'm going to wait for that. Guys, I'm telling you what. During the greatest struggles, I swear to God, you can go listen to Warren Buffett. You can listen to Bill Gates. You can listen to all these guys. It's during the most difficult times that you can thrive, not just survive. Because your competition, without these principles, are in deep shit. Your competition in times like this are going under. The opportunities that are in front of you, you might be seeing darkness. You might be seeing like, oh my God, almost bankruptcy. I swear to God, I'm not trying to bullshit. The opportunities that are there when you learn these principles are exponential, especially during the hardest times. Can you bring some light to that?
We made sure that we were just going to make it through. We had coaches to back us on every choice we made, and we were able to have the help we needed, and we actually was able to grow our team. We doubled in size, and we actually have the best team I've ever had right now. I've nothing but A players. I mean, by
the way, awesome. Most people are like, what? A players? What's that mean? What are the players like now versus some of the players you had back then?
Well, there's just, I mean, there was no hiring process. You hired someone, you hoped they would work, and usually didn't. And we set up a process now, so when we look for someone, we filter our employees just the same as we filter our customers. And it's like I said, it's the best team we've ever had now. I've got a great group of guys, and like I said, we've got a part-time admin there now. She's taken a lot of the work off my plate there too, and so it's helped.
Unbelievable, dude. Now, one of the other beliefs that you had, I could be wrong, but again, my memory could be off. But again, if it's off, it's off. It's off. I swear to God, on some of those group calls, and again, there wasn't many of them, but I think I remember in some of those group calls that not just you, but a lot of guys, they come to for contractors and they have all these limiting beliefs, and I'm going to say rightfully so, and I say rightfully so because what you've experienced would tell you that you're right. One of them was, Andrew, I can't find any A players out there. There's no fucking good A players out there. Now, there's nobody out there. Nobody's going to come and work for me. So if I get this work, everybody's deadbeats, including the fucking team I have. I hear that like fuck all the time. I'm like, you're completely wrong. And what would you say to that, Dusty? Now, I mean, you've got 8 A players. So tell us about that. How has your beliefs changed around that?
It's just it's just not true. I mean, you just have to wait and look for the right person. I mean, you can't jump on the first person that comes along. It's just not worth it. I mean, you get one bad team member, it hurts everyone. I mean, it's
But is there a process? Is there a way to place an ad? Is there a way to interview them? Is there a way to use an application form? Is there a way to onboard them? Dusty.
All of them.
It's a fucking process, guys. It's a whole process from finding them, from attracting them, from hiring them, from keeping them. Dude, is it true?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, it is a proven process, guys. Okay? So let's just, before we wrap this baby up, what are a couple other big things, dude, that you want to share with us as far as some of the big changes that have happened to your life? You know, let's just talk on the personal front. How has this changed things for you and your wife and your family?
Things have gotten better there. It's, I mean, I'm still putting in long hours trying to grow the new systems we have, but it's getting better. We're not arguing as much over money. It's not worrying about what we're going to be able to pay for bills, and actually, I mean, my wife was involved with the business, and we made the decision that she was going to step back, and that made things a lot easier for both of us. It was a good decision.
Why? Why is that? Because, by the way, I'm not saying this is the decision for everybody. That's what happened with Jennifer and I, and my wife's chartered accountant. Okay, that's what it's happened with more than one. Champion CEO here. What is it about that? If you're to give any advice on that, like, because a lot of couples, dude, are struggling. Like, and I'm not saying everybody's like this. Okay, I was lucky to have a chartered accountant, but even with my wife being a chartered accountant, knowing numbers and stuff, we fucking were in fights all the time. So I think a lot of contractors, their wives get involved. I'm not sure what your situation was, Dusty, but like, we suck them in. We like pull them in. Like, I need your help. I need you. I need you. Right, type of thing. What was your situation? And tell us a little bit about why is it better now?
Well, we were. It just wasn't a good situation, really. I mean, it was just always. We were always a bad place. It was just. We were always. We were just always worrying about money and arguing about certain things with the business. We were just in it together. But now she's decided to step back, and we decided to hire bookkeepers and accountants and take that off her plate. And it's great. I mean,
now, was she a certified bookkeeper?
No.
Okay, so let me just put a reality between you and me. Okay, and everybody listening in. All of you men out there that bring your wife in, I'm going to say this, or let your wife come in, or whatever. And I'm not saying it's not your business, and I'm sort of generalizing, but I'm just being straight up. Actually, this doesn't matter whether it's your wife or not, but I'm just hitting it home because it is your wife or your partner or family member. Could be brother, sister, daughter, son, whatever. If you put a person into a position that they have not got the skills or been trained on, and you expect them to hit the ball out of the park, Dusty, is that reasonable?
No.
How would your wife ever have known how to do the books properly? How would she know to calculate the break-even margin? How would she know what reports to generate? And yet, we put them into this position, and then we don't get the results we want. And it's like, fucking, how can it not be like toxic to our relationship? Agreed?
Agreed. Yeah, and I mean, you're pretty much setting them up for failure. She was trying to make a failing business survive, and it just wasn't. It wasn't possible. I mean, we didn't know the numbers or how to make things move forward. So it just when we jumped on board with Bob and his crew, and it's been great ever since. Well,
professionals, people that know what they're doing. Dude, did you jump on with me as your accountant? No. As your bookkeeper? No. Do I understand that stuff? Yes, but I'm not them. Yeah. Neither are you, right?
Right. Yeah. And as much as you want to think that your wife isn't involved, no matter if your wife does the books or not, your wife is still involved in your business no matter what. I mean, your business is part of your life, and I mean, they're in it. Whether you're having a bad day, they're feeling it too. So I mean, it's everyone's in it. So it makes a big difference.
Dude, it's huge. And your profits now have allowed for you to be able to afford an admin person. They've allowed you to be able to afford to pay for professional services. They've allowed you to be able to, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, actually, when looking into it, we actually couldn't afford not to. I mean, we looked at the hours I was spending in the office, and it just didn't make sense. I mean, I could be more productive doing what I do.
Yeah. Plus take some of that time. Take some of that time and spend it. Are you able to spend more time with the family?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Now, and this is sort of like wrapping it up on the personal front and on this podcast. I want to get your last words of wisdom here is, I think one of the biggest challenges we have is being present at home. Did you experience that challenge? I mean, I know I experienced that challenge. Like, even though I was, okay, I'm going to physically be there and that will solve the problem.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, and it's not like I don't want to make it sound like I've got it all figured out and things are all perfect now, but it's always able to be improved all the time, and I don't have it all figured out, and I still have lots of improvement to do with my business and home life. But I mean, it's getting better. We actually have goals now that we're working towards, and we're working on getting to that point where we'll get our freedom back. Yeah.
So, dude, what would be the last couple of words of wisdom? You got people listening in there. They're where you were at, or maybe worse. Maybe they're a little bit better. They've been in business for a while. They're a contractor, and they got two people, right? They got this little, the old devil and the angel, right? They got the angel over here going, yeah, man, this makes sense. Like, yeah, I can't keep doing it the way that I've been doing it, right? Then you got this person over here, like, oh, man, like, no, you can figure this out. You got this. You just got to put in more time. Like that old Dusty versus the new Dusty, right? What would be some last words of wisdom that you would say to somebody if they're questioning whether or not there's a better way?
I mean, nobody's going to do it for you. I mean, you've got to just dig in and get it done. I mean,
But Dusty, I've tried this and I've tried this and I've tried this. How is this any different? What would you say?
The fact is that you're trying it by yourself. I mean, you need to look for help. That was a turning point for me. Was I needed to realize that I couldn't do it anymore. I didn't know how to go any further, and you got to be able to ask for help. And I decided to join PFC and to reach out and ask for help. I knew there had to be a better way, and whoever you talked to, you just couldn't get that right answer you were looking for. It just wasn't clear. And when I joined with you guys, I mean, everything that every member on there was saying was exactly what I was going through. Mm-hmm. And
so you'd reached out to you had talked to other people,
yeah,
for help.
Yeah.
So outside of that, was there anything else that was different about us where it was like, oh fuck, this is it?
It was just this group was just contractors. It wasn't just any business. It was for contractors, the guys that are going through the same struggles that we were every day. I mean, some of the members that were on there talking couldn't have said it any better than what I was trying to say. I mean, it was exactly what I was going through. So it was just
community, right? Like not just like you and me, but a whole community of like literally hundreds and hundreds of people like supporting each other with the same like goals of having a better business, more profitable, more freedom, right? Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of guys in that on the part of the group there that I talk to more than my own friends. I mean, we're just it's a group that everyone helps everyone. I mean, it's just you're there to help everyone else succeed too. So I mean, it's if I would have thought this time when I joined PFC, I mean, I just if I could have thought that I'd be to this point right now from when I joined, I wouldn't have believed it really. So.
It's interesting. I want to share something with you, and then I'll give my 2 cents and wrap it up. I never thought I'd be where I was at with my automation business. I never thought I'd be at, with my other business. Okay. And for Contractors, I'm being straight up with you. Even though I'm a big dreamer, even though I'm all about setting goals, I mean, obviously, dude, right? I never thought in my life, I'm being dead serious, that I would be where I'm at with Profit for Contractors. And I never thought when I first started this that I'd be on a call with a guy. where the fuck would I ever think that there would be people that where I'd be going, so Dusty, so how much more profit have you made? And having a beautiful person like yourself, because I only, I'm pretty protective of that, right? I don't like any jackasses in the group, right? Okay? Or people that aren't ethical, okay? But do you think I ever thought that I'd be hearing from you going, even when you started, because I never made these promises, that you'd be getting a 450% increase in profit? Did you, right?
Yeah.
No, dude, I'm being straight up with everybody listening in on this. People don't come in to Profit for Contractors and we go, hey, Dusty did 450% increase in profit, so can you. No. I got to be straight up with you. And people are going to be like, why are you saying this, Andrew? I'm just telling you that when you do the right things and you get the right recipe, the hopes and dreams that come out of this are fucking things that you never thought in your life would happen. And I think part of it is because it's really difficult to comprehend, to set a target for, 450% increase in profit, right? That's what the fuck, right? You know what I mean? Oh, that would mean I'd have to quadruple 10x my fucking sales. No, he went up 2x on his sales and he went up 4.5 on his profits. Okay? Now, I know we're going to make you guys a hell of a lot more profits if you join Profit for Contractors and you take the actions. But I'm just telling you from the bottom of my heart, I think the world is meant to be this way. And I think one of the core reasons for it is that, Dusty, you're not the same man that you were when you started, are you?
No.
And how could you have predicted that?
Yeah.
So I think we're meant to have this kind of success if we let it happen and make it happen and do the things that we're supposed to be doing in the right order. True?
Right.
Okay. So everybody listening in, Dusty, I wanted to just tell you, dude, I'm so proud of you. That last podcast fucking up was almost a gift because last time I talked to you, I think it was you said 250% increase or something like that. Now it's fucking even higher, right?
Yeah.
So, dude, keep up the great work. And you know it, and I know it, is that we're not saying that we've got everything figured out, are we?
Not at all.
No, and who the fuck wants it all figured out? It'd be pretty boring if it's I got everything done. No, dude, you're always growing as a champion CEO. You're always evolving. Dude, I'm going to be 52 on the 2nd of June. And, 51. Holy shit, that's bad. 51. I still feel like I'm a fucking teenager. I look back at my life and I never thought I'd be where I'm at today as far as the amount of people I'm helping. And I think the reason for that at the last point is this. When you can get your business to grow beyond you and with a team, now it's not the impact of you anymore. It's the impact of a team. It's the impact of a company. It's the impact of a scalable structure and systems. When you put those two together, now it goes beyond you because it literally is beyond you. You're making money as you're on this fucking podcast, aren't you? Yeah. Right now, you're making money.
Yeah.
It's no more Dusty billing his hours by the hour. You're way more valuable to be creating a system that gets repeated than you are going out and fucking hitting hammers and nails.
Right. Yeah, you need to make yourself replaceable.
That's it, too. Love it. All right, brother. Excellent podcast. Excellent job in your progress. And stick on just to make sure we get this recording up and loaded, not like last time. And it's awesome, dude. Cheers.
All right, thanks.
Hey, Rockstar, I hope that you enjoyed that one. I mean, if you did like this podcast, leave a review, leave a comment. This will help us a lot to keep you bringing the gold, to keep allowing you to delegate, dominate, and deliver so you can take your contracting business to the next level. Now, make sure you subscribe, get the latest teachings and insights, and we will see you back here for another No Bullshit podcast. No, seriously, no bullshit.